How does the Staunton Gambit work against different defenses? Have you ever wondered how the Staunton Gambit functions against various defenses in chess? This gambit can be an exciting choice for players looking to shake things up in the opening phase. The Staunton Gambit starts with the moves 1 pawn to d4, followed by 1 pawn to f5, and then to pawns to e4. This sequence challenges Black's Dutch defense right from the start. White sacrifices a pawn to gain quick development and create attacking chances, especially targeting the kingside, which can be vulnerable after the move 1 pawn to f5. When Black accepts the gambit by playing to pawns to fxe4, they take the pawn but also weaken their control over the center and the kingside. White can then develop rapidly with moves like knight to c3 and pawn to f3. This puts pressure on the e for pawn and opens lines for an attack. White may even move the queen to h5, adding more pressure to Black's kingside. If Black does not defend accurately, they can quickly find themselves in a tough position, facing a strong initiative from White. On the other hand, if Black declines the gambit with moves like to pawns to d6, they keep their pawn structure intact but allow White to maintain central tension. This can lead to transpositions into other variations of the Dutch defense, such as the Balog defense. Even in this case, White will still aim for active piece play, looking to exploit any passive setup from Black. The Staunton Gambit also interacts differently with various systems within the Dutch defense. The Dutch defense has 3 main systems: Leningrad, Classical, and Stonewall. The Staunton Gambit is primarily aimed at the Classical Dutch, where Black plays 1 pawn to f5. Against the Leningrad Dutch, which involves moves like g6 and a fianchetto bishop, the gambit is less common but can still be used to challenge Black's kingside setup. In contrast, against the Stonewall Dutch, characterized by moves like d5 and e6, the gambit tends to be less effective. Black's solid pawn structure can blunt White's attacking chances. While the Staunton Gambit may not be fully sound at high levels of play, it remains a useful surprise weapon, especially in club play. It forces Black to make early decisions about their pawn structure and king safety. White's attacking chances arise from quick development and targeting weaknesses created by Black's early move of 1 pawn to f5. Players using the Staunton Gambit must be prepared to follow up energetically, taking advantage of open lines and their lead in development. Meanwhile, Black players facing this gambit should be ready to accept the pawn and defend accurately or decline it to maintain a solid structure. The effectiveness of the Staunton Gambit truly depends on how Black responds, whether they accept the gambit and enter a dynamic battle or decline and settle into a quieter position.